Hello, myself Sunil Nair, and here basically we are talking about one topic that is one World Bank person tool that basically uh, tool that I will help you for getting the job basically. So like this basically tool that basically we have discussed till now basically this till now basically we have discussed lots of things basically. In this basically we are told that we are basically telling that 20% global warming basically is coming from the education side, and in this basically we saw that commerce is there, science is there, and art stream basically are there. Each and every subject basically are divided into category wise. So that means the education plan industry basically group has done this. They have told this also. So like this basically in the commerce basically we have discussed lots of things. In science basically you can take the one best example basically. One person basically told that basically eat food like a medicine basically. Actually he want to say that basically, for example, if you are eating some potato, or basically you are eating some particular foods basically, if you are exceeding that particular food, if you are exceeding that particular food, that means you are contributing to the medicine industry basically. That means you are contributing to the medicine industry. Then one person told that basically, that means each and every human needs basically are approved by the doctors. Exactly, basically, you are 100% correct. Basically, say that basically we also need some money here. Basically, we also basically are sitting in the hospital. Na, basically, we also basically need money. Basically, then they told that basically we also want the contribution from each and every items. Basically, so they directly basically literally told directly basically that directly basically doctor told that feeling basically we also need money here, we also basically need the contribution. So they told that basically in potato basically we want this much contribution, in bindi basically we want this much contribution, in brinjal basically we want this much contribution, in oil basically we want this much contribution, in salt basically we want this much contribution, in biscuit basically we want this much contribution, in each and every vegetables we want this much contribution, in sugar basically we want this much contribution, in each and every mithais basically we want this much contribution, each and every petrol basically you are using, that also basically we want some contribution. So like this basically they told that basically we want contribution. So like this the contribution chart basically has been prepared by the set of commercial department basically. And one person told them basically how to manage the thing basically. For example, if you want to manage this whole thing basically, then he told that basically there are lots of stream basically who can manage the thing basically, like commerce stream basically can manage the science stream, and the art stream basically also basically can manage thing basically, because arts group basically have the talent basically to man for the management thing basically. So they can manage basically the thing basically. Then one of the person basically of the World Bank basically told that basically, yeah, how basically going I am going to reach this to up to these all sectors basically. Then one person told that basically, assume that that is Sunil R Nair. Then he told that basically you have to create one plan basically, or basically you have to create one algorithm basically, so that basically you don't have to reach to that person basically. You just do to you basically just need to do the follow up basically, set of follow ups basically. But that follow up should be 100% authenticated by the set of groups basically. For that basically you have to do some hard work basically. That's all. If the this algorithm is prepared, that means that's why basically you are here basically, that's why basically you are hired basically. Then he told that basically, yes, yeah, basically here basically mathematics is also required, and statistic is also required, and then basically the management of bank is also required. So that's why basically you are hired basically. That's why basically you are hired basically. That basically he told that basically, yes, yeah, it would be challenging work basically. Then he told that basically, yes, basically, yeah, yeah, challenging work basically I like basically, that like that basically the World Bank person told that basically. And in between that he also told that basically I will try to find out job for Sunil R Nair also. Like this basically he told that basically, yes, yeah, basically today actually I got that why actually I was hired. Like this basically the World Bank basically person told that basically I am good in mathematics, I am good in statistics, I am good in the banking management basically. So I basically know basically how to create the algorithm basically, so that I can easily manage the each and every step basically, that also with 100% basically. So that's not so easy basically to create that algorithm. It's not so easy because data keeps on changing. According to that you have to change your diagram, so the diagram should be so dangerous basically that it should handle each and every dynamic data also basically. So for that, basically, perfect mathematician people is required, perfect statistic groups are required, and perfect management basically people who are required, because he can basically communicate with each and every people. He need to do the coordination. For that, basically, bank management people are basically required. And basically, if you are doing communication, if you are doing the management, how many cost is going to happen? For that, basically, the banking center is required, because in the software industry basically we do the communication, we do the coordination, we do this. For that, basically, the company owner basically say that basically I am basically doing the costing mapping here. Basically, it's not like that. Basically, the easy task basically which you are telling that project coordination basically you are doing like this only. Everything is happening automatically. It's not like that. Basically, we are doing the each and every stuff. Basically, we are doing the hard work like this. Basically, the software company owner told that. Like this is the same way basically in banking management. The World Bank manager told that basically it's not so easy basically. So like this, his costing will be very costly basically, because he is sitting in the World Bank chair basically. So there basically the costing will be very dangerous. So there basically the management is very must require the product coordination, the things basically. For that basically he told that basically I might require some company's owner basically, for software company owner basically, who basically can help me basically like this. Basically here basically the project software industry basically, that is the project software companies basically, they jumped here also basically. Then they told that basically yeah basically we can create for the you basically. That means project software companies basically are everywhere. Basically they are there wherever the commercial, wherever the communication is going, wherever the talk is ongoing, they are basically everywhere. Basically they are just watching for the perfect time basically. Like this basically here basically the software company told that basically yeah basically no, we can basically help you basically, we can create one project basically for you basically. Like this basically we have a ready-made project basically, but if it suits your basically algorithm, because you are a mathematician and you are statistic basically, according to that too basically, if suits that management basically software basically, then you can use that software basically. Otherwise basically you can give your formula according to that basically, we are going to prepare the banking management project coordination basically, because each and every coordination basically is going to cost you. Each and every coordination is going to cost you. So how much basically the coordination should I do, and how much effort basically I do, and how much I am basically, according to that only basically I am plan basically, because I have to coordinate it. So I know my capability, I know basically my strength, I know my weakness. So according to that only basically I can do the plan. I know my people basically, how the people are basically working with me. So according to that basically each and everything basically I have to collect. First of all I have to collect this whole data only. Then only basically I can jump with the software industry basically. Because software industry are basically doing what? They are getting the set of data, and according to that basically they are doing the plans basically. They are according to that plan basically, they are creating the database, they are creating the softwares basically. Like this basically they basically don't know basically the you are basically, they basically don't know that basically what is your strength, what is your weakness, what is basically up to what level your staffs are basically. He basically don't, they basically don't know anything basically. And then basically you will say that basically this actually software is not perfect here basically, I am not getting this software. Then basically he will tell like this also basically. Then software industry will say that basically you are not given the requirement basically. Then we don't know basically. Then basically the World Bank basically people told that basically you are supposed to ask the question here basically, that in first phase basically this software basically has, that's why basically the phase system basically has started na? Sprint system basically, why basically we started the agile methodology, and what this framework basically everything. Agile methodology basically we have started. Scrum framework basically we have started. Why basically we have started? This is the reason basically. So that basically it should be understood basically what you are creating, what actually am I want basically, what is the your creation, and if it is matching to my requirement or not basically. Few group basically do like this basically. Few groups says that basically I just want this requirement. That's all basically. Literally they give the requirement basically. Like this basically the things work basically. So like this basically he told that basically yes, yeah, basically you are correct. So like this basically you are 100% correct. Like this basically one group basically told that basically it's very difficult here basically to coordinate. So one person told that basically the World Bank basically told that basically how basically I am going to communicate with each and every stream basically, each and every sectors basically, how basically I am going to do here basically. Then basically it was that basically the education system basically is already created basically, right? So that basically has created by set of one of the group World Bank only basically, and they exist also basically. They basically exist also basically 100%. They might be 100% are going to exist only. You can coordinate those people basically. Then basically if, MBA basically contains 1,000 cities basically. That 1,000 city basically is created from which or basically country basically. That basically IS officer basically they have done the signing basically. They have the diagram basically also, that these all are the roadmaps basically for this number basically we have this number, this alphabet basically we have created the created this whole city basically. We have basically the number basically. The IS system basically is also basically is telling that basically yeah basically we have created this way only basically. We have signed basically. We basically are connected with this all satellites basically. The satellite groups are basically telling that basically yeah basically we are doing everything like this only basically. Like this basically the sequence basically come to like this basically. Then he told that basically we need to basically diagnose each and every sectors basically which is created. For example, MBA basically how it's created. MBA basically contains which all books basically. MBA contains how many words basically. How many words basically MBA contains, and each and every words basically connected to one paragraph basically. What actually that paragraph means, how basically blood cells are reacting, how basically the brain basically are reacting to the particular paragraph. Then each and everything basically you have to diagnose here basically. You have to track each and everything basically. For that basically it's not so easy basically. That's why basically few people basically has created Bollywood groups are there. Few people says that basically we have created that Brahma Kumari like Sanstha basically, so that basically they can track this whole thing basically, which sector basically is creating which type of problems. Like ISKCON temple is basically there. There be ME people basically as doing the job basically. MBA people are basically there. Then CA chartered accountant groups are also basically there. They are basically doing the job basically. That's why basically the 20 percentage problem basically is occurred long before only basically. So that's why basically we have created not this all the group basically. Then he told that yes, yeah, basically 100% correct basically. So basically the algorithm and the management and the mathematician according to the help basically, that World Bank told that basically what somebody told to that World Bank basically you have to create one system basically, so that basically it would be easy to understand, easy to handle each and everything basically. And one person told that basically we have few softwares basically, but this handling basically I think we don't have any software here, because it is connecting to universe basically. That data also basically it might require basically with satellite is connected with for example costing basically one example you have given, that software basically we don't have with the World Bank also basically. For example, you told that basically this building will cost 100 crore, and each and every flats basically are going to cost one crore basically. That one crore basically is going to connect to that particular building basically. Sorry, that's going to connect to the one number basically, that is the universe number basically. That's the universe number basically it's going to connect basically. Then he told that 100% you are correct. 100% is going to connect to the certain level of universe basically. It is 100% going to connect to the certain level of universe basically. It is 100% going to connect to the certain level of universe basically. That data basically we have here. But this data basically we don't have. That satellite basically groups, this number basically costing number basically, that data basically that need to connect with the chartered accountant groups here basically. How they are doing the costing of the each and every buildings, that basically the Supreme Court and High Court basically groups, we need to connect to the Supreme Court and High Courts of the each and every country basically. That how basically they are having the costing system basically. They 100% might be having costing like this only, no, basically. They 100% might be having the costing like this only. This is basically by default assumable because they have created, the certain governments basically has created this system basically. Then he told that yes, yeah, 100% you are correct basically. So IITs, IIM groups are there basically. They are basically also there basically to have the creation of the system. Basically, IIM big groups basically are there who basically has handled many banks basically. They basically know each and everything basically. They say that basically for one number basically we have created this whole finance institute. For this all basically financial firms basically are there. For two number basically we have created this whole finance institute, and this whole finance firms basically are there. So we just need to contact to that firms basically. That's all basically. That financial firm is there, financial institute basically are there for the two number, three number. Like this basically we have categorized each and every firm also. We have created the firm here. It's not like that basically we are just sitting idly. This basically somebody from World Bank basically told. Some World Bank basically person told this. That we are not basically sitting like that idly basically. We are doing lots of work basically. For one number basically we have created this much. For zero number basically we have created this many financial firm here basically. If anybody asks the person basically for how basically you taken this cost basically, then he told that basically I have taken help from the one two three and four financial firm basically. Then he told that what actually you are telling here. Then he told that basically in universe basically there is one number, two number, two three number, zero number is there, eight number is there, nine number is there, zero number is there. Like these numbers basically are there. They are basically connected with set of financial firm basically. Financial firms basically are created. Financial institute basically are also created for one number basically. How many groups are okay for this financial from how many people basically I have got the training of this one number basically. So just see basically the training which basically they got. They are also basically categorized with the number basically. So just see the education system basically which is created by the set of group basically. They have already created it. And this basically system is not wrong also basically. This system basically it might not be wrong also because each and everything basically had categorized basically. Previously it might be possible that the financial firm basically might not have categorized, but now basically they are categorized just now means might have categorized basically long before basically, because chartered accountant groups only basically handles the Supreme Court and the High Court. Basically, people say that we have basically chartered accountant group, basically ICW group, basically here. You just check basically how many financial firms basically they have created. Then he told that yes, basically, but how they have created on the basis of what that basically we know, but basically up to detail level, basically we also don't know basically, because we are connected with only section action basically. Then he told that basically what actually the section is here basically. Section means, for example, this incident basically is happening, right? This incident basically is 100% going to cost this much basically. That is chartered accountant and ICW. Then they told that basically when this incident is going to happen, and this all are basically testing phase of the section basically. When the section basically are created, this all incident basically is going to happen. These incidents is happened basically. So here basically how much is going to cost. So that basically chartered accountant and ICW groups knows that this much incident. For example, this things basically is need to implement. This basically section implementation is going to be the section basically the Vakil Supreme Courts and High Court basically they have the section basically. So that basically is ongoing. So like this basically he told that basically. This incident is going to cost basically 100 crore basically, or basically 1 crore, and basically this 1 crore basically has cost according to that basically. So according to that basically this has cost 1 crore. So that basically they have created a section basically, that if we implement this section basically this incidence is going to happen, and this incidence is going to cost this much basically. So here basically the Supreme Court and High Court also basically are cleared, and then like this basically the chartered accountant and ICW are also basically well cleared. They are also well cleared. Then basically lots of movies basically the Bollywood groups are also basically there. They say that basically this section is created according to this incidents basically has happened, and this money has cost. So they basically also take created few movies for this. Each and every incidents basically are created by some. Each and every incidents basically are connected with each and every sectors basically. So just see basically how basically the sections are connected, how basically how basically they basically have the got the authority, the Supreme Court and High Court have got the authority to create the sections basically. Then he told that basically, exactly, yeah, you are exactly correct basically. So basically just you need to create the algorithm basically of this basically. So he told that yes, basically you are basically good in mathematics, you are basically good in statistic, you are basically good in the management basically. So here basically you just need to study this example basically. Just I had told you, and like this basically how basically the management things basically are done. So for that basically I required few software company basically how they handles the projects basically, how they coordinate the thing basically. That basically the World Bank basically told that basically I can basically do better than the software companies basically. Then he told that basically okay basically you can do it basically. If you have each and every cost, if you have each and every data, then basically do it. Then he told that basically yeah basically then basically I need the help of the software companies. So like this basically he told that basically I will take the help of the software company. Then like this basically he told that yes basically I need the software company's help. Yeah. Then basically he told that basically yeah I can create the this management. I will give the data basically. I need this all thing basically. Then basically this all things basically are required. Then he told that basically this will be the my management side. This will be the if basically I'm coordinating to this particular sectors basically. Then I will be coordinating like this basically. This would be my roadmaps. So each and every design basically you have to give. So each and every design basically you have to give according to that design basically the management industry, that is the software industry, they will be going to draw some project management plan basically, and then basically they are going to design the software basically. Then he told that basically okay. So like this basically this is about the 20 percentage education which problem basically has occurred, and like this basically the problem basically is going to solve basically, like this basically only the problem is going to solve. There is no other option basically how the problem basically is going to solve. So in this basically we are next point basically we are going to discuss, that is about the foods basically, foods industry basically. Foods basically this basically we can explain in very easy language basically. The foods basically are created how? By software companies basically. From software basically foods are created, by natural also foods are created, and the chemicals basically are foods created. So basically, there might be 100%. They might have tested each and everything. Basically, if CRM project is creating, then basically from tomato or from potato, basically, this software is going to generate potato, and that potato is going to generate how many energy basically. Because the doctor basically has already told that basically if you like seed this potato, then basically you have to contribute to the medical industry. So according to that, basically the management basically are done here according to the end. This basically the food industries basically are divided. So in third part basically we are going to say this basically cost 10 percentage. 10 percentage means from 100% or of the global warming basically, this basically has created 10 percentage problem basically. And third basically is your mood basically. This basically we will see in next part basically, that is the next video basically which we are going to discuss this.